animals.
Regarding the protocol, in the event the remains are found, don't you think it's a little premature to dig in a place where you don't have a set protocol?
Actually,
Isn't it kind of
something that's worked out in consultation, and there are many cases of agencies excavating without that protocol because the regulations are intended
so it's
to
more
cover
we'll
that.
cross that bridge when we come to it?
Well, it's a case-by-case basis.
The regulations say we consult, and then at that point, the people involved in consultation would make decisions.
For this area, who did you consult with?
We consulted with the American Indian Council of Mariposa County, the Mono Lake Indian Community, the Lower Fork Mono Rancheria, and I believe the Tuolumne Miwuk, but I'm not sure.
Basically, what you're saying is this can be all here. This could be all the people. This could all be burial grounds, and you're sifting through the people.
There's no evidence of that.
It's the city. What's your evidence?
Well,
if it's all in the
it's
city?
not a very likely place for burials.
How do you know?
Well, I know
How do
that
you know
because I've worked in a lot of areas, and my experience
Well,
tells
maybe
me...
we should ask Amy if it's possible. She would know. She lived here. And her grandmother and grandmother before that, and you're asking the wrong people.
We try to do that whenever we can.
Well, she was never consulted on anything as far as what was going on here
She was
today.
never consulted, and this is hers, you know.
She lived here. She knows
You guys are talking to the wrong people. And if it's all a city, there could be one baby here. And that's our religion. Our people are our religion. That's why the ancestors come and talk.
We are not intending to... The artifacts that we are finding, flakes above the city, we're not even seeing any often experience from working with or looking at practices in the area. There are usually some type of grave goods, which even if the bone's gone, if we saw something that would be indicative of internment, a human internment, we would know.
You would stop.
Right.
You would stop. You would call who's appropriate to remove
and the consultation would occur.
Well, no. You wouldn't stop.
So
you would not dig anymore. You would bury it all up and never touch this ground again.
We would leave it and we would consult. And after that,
no, there's no consulting. It's burial ground. If you have any understanding for Indians, like you say you do, you don't touch it. You don't touch it.
The work that we're doing here is actually required by law. And
by whose law?
We've gone
whose
through
law? By
consultation.
Whose law?
We've gone through the public process.
Well, federal does not override Indian law and Indian tradition. Federal does not.
That.
And you guys need to know that by now. You know, you've got one of your pioneers over here. Can we excavate him? Can we?
Yes.
Let's go do that.
We're actually doing that.
Lord,
we're
you
doing the
was on this side of the fence.
Yeah.
Being who you are, what would you do to stop this?
I like to say something.
Sure.
I guess.
Go ahead, Grandma. Like to say something.
I guess it, my word don't mean nothing. I lived here at the old new second Indian village for 55 years. And I lived up the old Indian village. And then my grandmother was born right there. It's a Miwuk and a Paiute. And then people that lived here was Sally Andy. All these two here. Chief Tenaya. Family lived right here. And then when the soldiers came in, they shoved them out. And I don't know how you can find a bone or anything way back 1700.
Well,
these are Indian lands. These are Indian lands.
If burial areas are not marked by people, even
family lived right in
and if we know of areas that are sensitive to that, then we would proceed very carefully.
You wouldn't
we consult. That falls apart.
You don't proceed.
One thing should be pointed out, though, in that we are not only excavating Native American materials at this project. We've also excavated European activities on the site.
That doesn't make it even, and it doesn't make it right.
No. That's the only point is that it should be.
But the point was
it was brought up the point that we wouldn't excavate there was no sacredness brought in. It was whether or not we would excavate Euro-American sites, and we did.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes,
Because
and
those
that's all I
aren't
tried to
sacred
get in.
Your people. If
Who
those are
who
not
else can we
sacred.
talk to besides you guys? You
can
guys
talk
are just
to the
people in
park
the field. We need to
superintendent.
talk to somebody on our
Go
road.
get him.
You can talk to the park superintendent.
Yeah,
Can you still answer my question I said, Laura?
I can't because I'm not in that position. I can understand how you feel.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. You would answer my email if you understood.
If you understood
And you didn't
what
do
you're
that.
doing, you wouldn't be down there doing that.
One thing that you may not know is that the excavations that we've done here in the past, we've had no evidence of human remains.
So my question to that is, under the natural law, why would you re-intact these areas if you've already been in here before?
It's actually under the National Historic
Preservation,
Preservation
Section
Act,
106.
and it's because there's more information that can be gained before it's lost through construction. That's why we're here.
Lost. Did you hear your word?
Information
Did you
about
hear?
Well, the construction's going whether.
Here's your information.
Right. Well, what has to be remembered, though, is that we are, after the fact, there's a construction project going on. And what we are doing is mitigating that impact. The construction